Do you find yourself staring at empty bus stations? Do you wonder how to get more people onto public transport? Well, you're in luck. This is episode 27 in Ashbury Dales. Welcome to Snapdragon Cities. So where do you find us? Well, you find us at a bus hub that we created many episodes ago, designed for single-decker buses. So we'll see this double-decker bus here. It just takes a bit of a shave off the top on the way through. No problem with that at all. Just don't sit on the top row. You'll be all right. We've not done a great job with public transport in our city. We've got buses everywhere. And actually, some of the buses have got hundreds and hundreds of people on them. But also, we've got a lot of bus routes that do basically nothing. And so we're going to spend some time this episode deep diving into public transport in Ashbury Dales, mostly looking at our bus routes, fixing some of the big problems we've got with it, trying to end up with something that requires fewer buses and gets more people on them. So we're going to make a start with that. We're going to start by looking all the way out at our entire map here. So we started in Whitehall Village 1,000 episodes ago, right down here, and we got some bus routes in there. We'll take a look at the bus routes to make sure we can see what we're talking about here. So if we take a look just at Whitehall first, we've got a bus route that goes around the town and it connects to a couple of the places it needs to connect to. So some shopping and jobs over here, a school over here, and the industrial area over here. Not too bad. We built an extra bit of Whitehall, so rather than extend that route, we created another one. Maybe that's defensible. Maybe it would be too big for one long route. I'm not sure about that. That's sort of fine. I don't mind that. That probably works okay. I think that also goes off to the bus hub that we were looking at before. Yes, it does. So that route is a kind of everywhere route. I imagine to get from near the start to near the end of that line takes a long time, but there's a bus going in both directions. So I would feel quite comfortable with that being a successful one. But if we come and take a look over at Marston, where we spent time last episode, we've got 6 bus routes here. So 3 clockwise, 3 anti-clockwise routes that just represent the 3 parts of the build that I did. I just put bus routes in and around this growing area and said, yep, that is how I built it. So that is how I will draw a bus route around it. They connect to nothing. They barely connect to each other. I can't imagine a single reason why anyone would use this bus line. And then basically throughout the city, we've got a various mix of things like that with various levels of defensibility. So if we look at Halsford West, for example, we can see that on this route, we've done a good job of putting a clockwise, anti-clockwise bus route around here. They connect to what is sort of a hub at the industrial area. We can see we've got this line that connects into here. There are a few bus lines that end up getting into there. Doesn't cover the most heavily populated area of the town for some reason. I think because we just built this afterwards and didn't think about it. It does go up to the zoo though. So, we've got a mix of pretty good lines, pretty bad lines, and some lines in between. By the end of this episode, they will all be, I think, perfect. So how are we going to do that? Well, hubs is going to be the first thing. So if we come back again, all the way back out to our map, we've got a few things that we want to make sure people can use the bus to get to. Work is first of them. So there are a bunch of places where we've got a high concentration of jobs. That is in Halsford East in the shopping centre here, Beechwood in the shopping centre here, the industrial area, Turnwater and the industrial zones, as well as Loughborough over here. If we can find hubs near those places, we can connect the hubs to each other, have smaller local routes connecting to the hubs, and all is well. So how well provisioned are we for hubs already? Well, we started off in Beechwood, and when we created the the shopping centre here with Tesco and these shopping areas here, we created something like a bus hub here. It works fine. It could be better, but it will be serviceable enough for now. Also in our industrial area, we have this, again, not a hub strictly speaking, but some well-provisioned bus stops that lots of buses stop at. That seems fine. We've also got the bus hub that we looked at the start of the episode where we can see we've got plenty of buses going in here. Most bus routes actually find their way here. But that's not everywhere. If we look at Halsford, where we've got all of these shops that we've been desperately trying to get to stay afloat, we've got this lovely space here, which I'm certain would make a fantastic bus hub. We've got this area by Turnwater that's currently full of trees, but could be full of buses. Imagine that if we just swapped all the trees for buses. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? And then over in Loughborough Again, some trees that could be buses. And so our plan for this episode, let's create some bus hubs. Let's connect the bus hubs to each other, strip out every bus route and rebuild them all. You with me? Let's go. So let's start here in Harlesford then. We've got space to create a bus hub. I wonder whether we should just put in one of the ones that comes with the game. So let's take a look. So there, let's try just plonking the intercity bus station in and see how it looks. Well, we haven't done a good job of preparing the ground for this. My experience of building in Harlesford has been that I have been lacking in my ability to prepare the ground for the things that we've been building, but we can make up for that retrospectively. So we'll create the height that we want and then smooth out at the edges. And that's probably fine. So that's easy enough. We can probably do a really good job of decorating this while we're here. I wonder, would this kind of thing, you wouldn't have a car park because you don't need a car park because we're right by a car park just down here. Not that people would use that, but if people are on the bus, maybe they walk to the bus or cycle to the bus or something. Am I convinced of that? Sufficiently convinced. This doesn't need to be a park and ride, I don't think. And so then we can just look at what we can do to decorate the area surrounding it. Okay, give me a few moments to do that, and then tell me if you're proud of me when I'm done. There we go, folks. I'll give you the Harlesford bus interchange. So we actually turned it into a park so we could get some park assets in there. But I think it's turned out really nice. Let's get in and take a look. So we've got a park entrance here, cafe and some restrooms, some lovely flowers at the back there, a couple of like food stands and ice cream vans and things like that, some planters and some trees in there. We bushed off rather than fenced off the back of this and put some weeds down in there to give it a sort of overgrown feel towards the back of it, where I should imagine not much happens. But that's in there. I wonder if we'll notice when that levels up over time, if it does. Does it have sufficient entertainment to level up? Well, we'll know when we get the game running, won't we? Until then, who knows? We can get the game running now. Let's take a look. No, insufficient entertainment to get to the next level. So we won't level up here. Oh, yes, we will. There we go. That's fine. So that will work absolutely lovely. Right. So one down. Let's take a look somewhere else. So here we are in Turnwater. We spent a lot of time here. Who remembers when we placed the Travelodge / Tesco here with this tiny little car park that is clearly insufficient for the needs of the users here? What will make it even worse is that we will turn off parking on the road nearby to force them into that car park that we've created. Lovely. We could put a bus hub here, couldn't we? I wonder if, rather than putting like an intercity bus terminal as we did over in Harlesford, whether we could do something a bit more customised here. Whether we could just put some bus roads down and allocate stops to them and call it a bus hub. Should we give that a go? Let me clear some trees here, make some room, and see if we can't create ourselves a nice little bus interchange here. There we go. What do you think? Turnwater bus interchange established. So we're in danger of covering up with trees here. So let's take a look at what we've done. So some fairly standard stuff in here. We've got a couple of bus shelters, some benches, some ticket vending machines, a bunch of trees. So we've got some younger ones in here, some slightly more developed ones, and then some tall ones here. Lots and lots of places for buses to crash into each other. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But hopefully this will be reasonably well appointed. And we might even have room for 2 stops each side here. So we shall see. Short enough walk to here. I didn't feel the need to create a walking path from the middle of this across to here. I feel quite content letting them walk across the road there. And likewise from here up to the entrance to Turnwater World of Wonder. Wonderful indeed. Right, so we are getting there. One more to go, I think. So let's have a look over in Loughborough, where we might end up with something just slightly more modest. So we might put in one of the generic assets in here. But we've got this space that is currently a walking path, and it does get used, and those trees I'm sure are beloved of the people here. But I do think we need to be pragmatic here, and so we will be getting rid of all of this and putting a bus hub in here. So let me clear this space first, then we can start to come to terms with the loss of the natural features here, and then start to prepare ourselves for what's to follow. There we go. Right. Let's see if we've got a nice asset that we can use in here. Does the bus station work? I mean, it's almost perfectly sized as well. It is like it was meant to be. So as much as I know for a fact some of you will absolutely hate this, there, sorry, we did it. Right, so some small crumb of comfort for you. We've got some green space over here, so I promise I will plant some trees. In fact, let me put a fence around this area and put some trees in here right now. There we go, wonderful. Right, we can probably get the game running at this point, and we do still need to get our residential numbers up. Keen followers of previous episodes will note that while we are not placing new houses in this episode, we are hoping that plenty grow up in our Marston area. Right, so did we do it? We've got 3 new bus hubs that we've established. One in Loughborough, one over here in Harlesford, and then one over here in Turnwater. I think that's probably enough for us to start zooming out a little bit and starting creating bus routes between the hubs. So let's have a look on the map at where all of these are together. So we have Turnwater here, Harlesford here, Beechwood Farm, or we can call this Ashbury Poly, and then Loughborough. So let's create some bus lines between these. Actually, before I do that, what I'm going to do is pause the game, and we're going to be brave / stupid. So we currently have 2,300 residents and 670 tourists accessing the bus network at the moment. We are going to get rid of all of our bus lines. There we go. Our city could not be sadder at that. So note, sadness has occurred. But it does give us now a blank canvas to make a much better bus network than the one that we had before. So, right, okay. So, been staring at this for a minute, and I think we have cracked it. So, we are going to have one line that goes through 4 of the hubs. So Turnwater, Beechwood Shops, the Poly, Loughborough, and back again. Right, so that's one down. We've got one route in. Then we need to connect Harlesford to various places. So I think I will be connecting Harlesford to Loughborough and to Turnwater. So then, now we can start turning our attention to the local buses. Let's do that. Now. Let's start back where it all began, back in Whitehall. So what we want to do is make sure that we have a route that connects all of our residential users to places that they want to get to. So now the hubs go basically everywhere. We just need to make sure we get the local places. So we will do what we always do with our bus routes. We'll create a clockwise route, an anti-clockwise route around the residences, and then connect those to points of interest. So like this. Yeah, so that's 2 routes around Whitehall done. We haven't managed to take in the school area up here, so we will drag ourselves up here first. Lovely stuff. What else have we got to make sure that we take in here? So I think we're all covered here. What I want to do actually, and this is just, it's a bit janky, but I'm going to add another stop to the route, I think, to get the bus off the main road there. Now that might mean that it clogs up residential traffic through here, but that's fine. I would love for the residents to know that there are plenty of buses that they could use instead. A couple of bits here as well. The routes do cross here quite a bit, so there'll be sometimes the bus will stop, sometimes it won't. I suspect our Sims will work it out, though I suspect normal people would not. We are connected to the schools here. Right. Now, so what I'm going to do is run the game for a second, and then I'll get colours on these lines. That's really helpful. So let's get these pink and purple ones into the hub like so. Wonderful. Anywhere else that they should connect to? Yes, they should connect here because this is where jobs are. You probably also want to just connect this area to the hub. Lovely. Right, so Whitehall has bus lines. Let's move on. So Whitehall done. Now let's do Beechwood. What we'll do exactly the same again. So I'll get this done really quickly and then show you the finished result. There we go. So Beechwood connected. We've connected it to the shopping centre here. We've also sent it all the way up to Loughborough as well, the Loughborough hub there. So I think that's going to work fantastically. Right, Loughborough is going to be a bit harder. It's a bit more of a series of areas rather than one main one. So what we're going to do is have we're going to have one route this side and another this side that will connect up to the hub. There we go. So Loughborough Gardens has got some in there now. So we've got Lockmeadow, Lockstead, Loughborough all covered. We've covered the office estate here, connected up to the hub and gone up to the train station as well. Let's get the right number of buses. There we go, that'll work. Let's do the other side of town. Right, and while we're here, let's create a line from Loughborough to our industrial area. There we go. Right, we probably need to do just slightly better than that, but we will get to that in due course. I think first of all, we are going to create a small route around Okerton and the Poly. There we go, lovely. And so we can move on to somewhere else. Let's go to Turnwater. Now, again, we've got two areas here really that need to be treated separately. So upper Turnwater first and then lower or just Turnwater. There we go, that's Turnwater done, connected to train stations and to the hubs, which I think will work wonders. Now we can get on with Harlesford. I see no reason why this can't just be one route. So we built it in two, which is why it was two, but I think it should just be one. So we'll do one. Right, so that's Harlesford done. We're also going to create a route from Harlesford bus interchange to the zoo. I think that will be enough actually for the zoo. Because everywhere else can get to the interchange get to the zoo, that seems fine. Right, so let's sort out the numbers and type of buses. Right, there we go. And let's come out of this view. Right, there we go. And we can now do Marston. Right, there we go. That's Marston done. We are in danger of feeling a little bit close to complete here. So let me just have a quick look around the city and see if we've covered everywhere. There we go. Looks like we did it. So let's get it running. I think the only way we're going to know if this is working is just to let the game run for a very, very, very long time. So I am going to do that and see if we can catch some buses along the way and just check that everything's working the way that we want it to work. So we're aiming for about 3,000 users total by the time this is all established. So stick with me for a few minutes and let's see if we can find some buses to follow around our hubs and see if we manage to crack it. Yeah, well, there you have it. I mean, I think we've established that the buses exist. There are plenty of them. There are plenty of people that want to use them. These folks parking on here, that can't be right, can it? So the last thing we're going to do, I think, is just turn off parking on this road here because it seems problematic at best, does it not, viewers? So let's take this off of here. And then let's have a quick look at where we are in terms of users. Probably not been running it long enough yet. So we're nearly there. We're nearly back up to where we were at the start, but we've got a much more efficient route. We are using fewer buses, though I must admit I did not count that. So I assert that with all the confidence of a person that hasn't checked, and hope that you didn't either. But I'm certain that we're doing a lot better here. There are definitely a lot more options for people trying to get around and about our city. So that being said, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please like the video. If you do, leave a comment, let me know what it was you liked about it. Subscribe to the channel while you're here, hit the notification bell, stay up to date with everything that we do here. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care and goodbye.